Why play Nilah Bot Lane? Well, she brings a ton of AoE damage, she is a beast in a teamfight, she has tons of lifesteal, keeping her alive with ease, and she melts objectives like dragons and barons like they're nothing. However, as a melee champion, she is bullied in lane by most opponents, and she does need a support who can peel for her and synergize with her kit. Nilah has a few passives. Firstly, when sharing experience in lane, both her and her support get additional XP when she last hits a minion. This keeps you competitive in an otherwise weaker laning phase. The second part of the passive is Nilah gets increased effects from heals and shields. Also, when an ally heals or shields her, they get a heal or shield too, equal to these increased effects. Or if they heal or shield themselves, Nilah still gets the increased effect bonus on herself. Basically, shields and heals are very good on her and she shares them with her team. Nilah's Q has a passive where she gains additional armor penetration and lifesteal on her attacks, scaling with crit strike chance. Also, overhealing from this becomes a shield. The active makes her crack her whip forward, dealing damage, and if an enemy or structure is hit, she gains attack range, attack speed, and her auto attacks hit in a cone so it can hurt multiple enemies at a time. This ability has a 4-second cooldown and the buff lasts 4 seconds, so you want to aim to have this up as much as possible. Nilah's W covers herself in mist, gaining movement speed, reducing magical damage taken, and makes her dodge all basic attacks. While active, if you touch an ally champion, you give this buff to them as well for a slightly shorter time. Nilah's E dashes herself through an ally or enemy. Any enemy she dashes through take damage, and after this has been used once, she can use it again in a short window. Nilah's ultimate deals damage in a circle around her for 1 second. After the second has ended, she deals a burst of damage and pulls nearby enemies towards her. This is a huge amount of damage, and she heals herself and nearby allies a good chunk of the damage dealt. And any excess healing becomes an overshield. Your all-in combo for a team fight will usually be to land Q on as many targets as possible, attacking them all, before dashing in on multiple targets to ultimate as many as possible before dashing out to safety. For Masteries, take this. As a melee champion, Conqueror is a ton of damage and easily maxed out. For build order, start Blade or Shield and Pot before getting Shield Bow, Tier 2 Boots and PD. Following this, get Infedge and BT, and then finish your build with any of these. For skill order, start Q, then E, then W, before maxing Q, then E, then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Exhaust. In the early game, you are incredibly weak. Your range is 225, and even when buffed with Q, it goes up to 350. To put this in perspective, Caitlyn's range is 650. You can get bullied very hard, but it's important to survive at this point in the game. Your goal at every point is to get whatever CS is available to you, and rely on the extra XP you get from farming to outlevel your opponent, keeping you safer. You're not looking to take too many quick trades. However, if you can ever Q the minions and your opponent at the same time, go for it. This said, your main trades will be you following up on any engage your support brings. If you're able to enter combat by dashing through your support with W on you to apply it to both of you, this can put you in a very strong position where your opponent can't trade back, allowing you to get free Qs and attacks off. However, make sure to not chase down your opponent. You're literally asking to get shot. In the mid game, if you've survived laning phase, you should be very strong with shield bow complete. Look to siege, skirmish and fight as much as possible. However, if you're behind, stay in a side lane as much as possible and farm until you're strong. In a team fight, play the follow-up engage. After the fight starts and your enemies have used abilities, go in when it's much safer. Dash in with W over as many teammates as possible before ulting as many targets as possible. Keep attacking away until everything's dead.